You know, we've been trying to look out into the future, and one of the things that is one of the biggest issues in the world is food supply and quality of food, water. You know, it's becoming an important issue. So two entrepreneurs are working, many entrepreneurs are working on this issue, but two in particular are doing really interesting work, in my opinion. And one is Josh from Hampton Creek, welcome.
Thanks, Jason.
And one is Rob from Soylent, welcome.
Thank you.
And both of these gentlemen are building companies around helping the food ecosystem become more sustainable and people become healthier, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so do you have a slide you want to show?
I sure do.
Sure, okay, let's pull up the slide here.
We can just go to the next one.
Next slide. All right, here we go. That's not your slide. That's not your slide. Wrong slide set. No. Is this you? No, this is another. That's Tim Draper's slide set. All right, here we go. All right, so now your company is called Hampton Creek. What do you do?
So we're really focused on the idea that right now the reality is that convenient and cheap food, as most people know, probably isn't the best for our bodies and certainly isn't the best for the world, right? So we actually reverse it. So we think the only way you really change things is to make the convenient and the cheap thing actually better for our bodies and better for the world. And we start with maybe a surprising place, which is egg production. So the cheapest, most abundant source of animal protein on the planet is a chicken egg. About 1.8 trillion chicken eggs are laid every single year around the world. So our approach to dealing with this, which is really a problem. So you have birds in small cages, you have environmental issues. Our big idea is let's take the animal out of the equation and instead build a platform for looking at the world's plants and identifying a plant, and we've looked at 11 of them, that is as, if not more functional than the chicken egg at a price that's disruptive. So if you're a General Mills or a Kellogg's or a Nestle and you buy hundreds of millions of pounds of chicken eggs every single year, I say we have a product that's less expensive. If you're a large retailer, which we're working with, I say we have a mayo product, typically an egg-based product, that's significantly more expensive. So that's kind of our theory of change in this world.
Got it. Okay, so you took what is the most efficient protein source on the planet and said, let's make it even more efficient?
Except we think it's efficient, but the reality is if you take a look at this slide,
yeah,
it's actually highly inefficient. So I think you can look at egg production and just kind of close your eyes and imagine if this was a battery cage facility where most of the eggs come from, instead of what we see to either side, row upon row upon row of cages with chickens in little cages, just stuffed full of soy and corn for about 2 years, right? And we might think that's efficient, but the reality is if we were just starting from scratch today, we wouldn't do that. That's antiquated technology. We see that, and it looks like a horse and buggy to us. We see that, and it looks like a gas light to us instead of electricity.
So here, the ratio of energy input to food energy output is 39:1. So explain that to us in plain English.
It's real. If you're a chicken, Jason, and you're a cage,
yeah,
all I do is feed you soy and corn, and you go through an ovulation cycle, and you lay about 283 eggs per year, and that's the food output. So the energy that you put in requires a lot of land and water and fertilizer and oil, and it's just inefficient.
Right, and you've got this all the way down to 2:1.
You got it.
Okay, so how does it taste? Let's get right to it.
So these 1.8 trillion eggs, they end up in a lot of places, right? They don't just end up in a scrambled egg, which we'll take a look at. They also end up in cookies. So good people every day are eating cookies with a chicken egg in it. So we have some cookie dough made with our product in it and made with a chicken egg in it, and we want you to do a blind taste test, if you feel like that.
Rob, you want to try this with me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Rob. So we got sample A and sample B here.
Yep.
Now, one of these is raw cookie dough with raw eggs in it, which will kill us with salmonella, and then the other one is yours.
Yep.
So whichever one makes us sick is the eggs.
It's easy.
All right, here, you first.
So as you're tasting it, you know, the chicken egg, yeah, it does a lot of things. It does 22 different things, but it's also not getting any better. Right? So we can actually use technology, which for us is based upon looking at plants around the world, and actually make things better instead of stagnant.
Okay. I've tasted the first one. It tastes like cookie dough. It's got like a sugary, creamy, flour.
I confirm this cookie dough also tastes like cookie dough.
So you're going to pay attention to the mouthfeel, the flavor release.
Okay. So the first one I took, A, was very smooth and creamy.
Okay.
Texture is very comparable to me. The mouthfeel, it's pretty much the same.
The mouthfeel is the same, you're right. Actually, you know what? There is no way if 100 people did this and you gave them alternating spoonfuls of it, that anybody could tell which was which.
So we hope they tell because ours will be about 20% more affordable. So that's, again, that's the theory of change. You're only going to win if you make the good thing the more affordable thing. The one on the right is a product made with the plant instead of a chicken egg that comes from a cage. You got it.
I was about to say that this one tasted richer. What did you think?
I actually prefer this one.
I actually thought the B was richer, and the first one was too oily.
Our R&D team, which is in Soma right now, is probably applauding right now.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, very good. All right.
Now we're on the mayonnaise, right? So the market
I hate
for
mayonnaise, by the way.
The market for mayonnaise is $11.3 billion around the world. And why do we need to make mayonnaise with a chicken egg that comes from these awful places? Let's instead maybe make it with something more efficient, a plant. And remember, this is not a vegan thing. This is about being smart. It's about being efficient. It's about building a food system for everyone. So these are 3 different mayos. 2 of them are chicken egg based, and the other one is made with the plant.
Yeah?
Okay, I hate mayonnaise. Here we go, Rob. You try the first one. You tell me what you think.
You go first.
One of the key functionalities of the egg is emulsification, right? Can it bring oil and water together? Very hard to do with a plant.
Oh, God.
Mayonnaise with a spoon. They don't want any bread.
Never liked mayonnaise, but that is nice tasting mustardy mayonnaise.
Tastes like that thing you don't like. Yeah.
Yeah, just like a mustardy mayonnaise. Right here. Put the used ones over here. No double dipping, right? All right, put that over there. Okay, here we go. You go first this time.
So this mayonnaise, Jason, took 2 years to develop.
2 years to make one jar?
Over 3.
I don't know if this is that efficient now.
I know. We do what we get. So this is.
All right. Now there's a difference. This one was more oily and tangy. This one's flavor profile is a little more creamy.
I think this had more flavor overall.
This one had more flavor, like tangy, but this one was more creamy. But neither of them taste bad, right?
Oh, no.
They both taste like mayonnaise.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want people, again, this is kind of our theory of change again. We want people to slap this on a hamburger, on a turkey sandwich, on salami. This is not about thinking sort of the dogma of vegan or not. This is about figuring a way to make things better for everyone.
Okay. Now this one tastes a little different. It's fluffier and
it's
lighter.
Kind of like lighter.
It's a lighter, fluffier. So you had tangy. This one was a little more creamy, and this is like fluffier. That's a consistency. But I would say, if anybody ate this mayonnaise, had this mayonnaise on a sandwich, it would be a fantastic BLT. None of them tasted bad. There was absolutely no way anybody could tell the difference. What do you think?
I think they're good. In fact, I think the beauty of this is you have complete control over all of these properties. I mean, once you're building it up, once you're designing it, you can make it taste like anything.
That's right.
You don't have to be limited by what mayonnaise has been in the past.
That's right. So
right, but which flavor did you like?
I like this one.
You like this first one, the tangy, but that's more for the flavor profile, is the tanginess. What about the mouth consistency, the kind of mouth feel?
You know, I like this one too. This one was a little too oily for my taste.
Too oily, okay. Yeah. So now what are we supposed to do, pull these out? All right, let's see what we did here.
Let's do the grand reveal, and I actually don't even know which one is which.
This is the fluffy one.
If you look on the bottom.
Oh, the bottom, okay.
So it's Hellmann's on the left.
The fluffy was the Hellmann's, okay.
So that's the leading brand on the left.
Okay, the tangy one that you liked, and I think I'm going to go with the tangy one I like best too, was Miracle Whip.
It's Miracle Whip.
And the middle one
was
just
ours.
mayo, it was yours. Yeah, I say they were all very good.
Yeah.
It was really the flavor profile. Could you add the tanginess to this? Or could you do multiple flavors?
Again, this is kind of the way that we think about it is we're not trying to be the same. We're trying to be better than the cheapest, most abundant source of animal protein. And we think some of the flavors come out a little bit more, and I think you'll notice that in the Chipotle, we also have sriracha and garlic aioli.
That's good.
I love sriracha.
That's delightful. Okay.
So
now let's get to brass tacks. You proved your point here very easily.
Yep.
This is the exact same, if not better. How is it made?
So we've looked at over 3,000 plants around the world, and we've selected 11. And there's actually one in the mayonnaise, and it's a particular cultivar varietal of a Canadian yellow pea that we've identified. We work with farmers. We bring them in. We put it through a light. That's the yellow pea. There it is. We put it through a very light processing that makes it into a powder. Imagine kind of a flour mill type approach. And instead of a chicken egg, we use this. And this is 48% more cost-effective than the chicken egg. Again, and the main inefficiency of the world of chicken eggs is the feed. When you got to have so much soy and corn to feed an animal, well, you're going to have lots of cost.
Can I just buy the powder and use it in baking and stuff like that? Or
Not yet.
Not yet.
If you're a Fortune 500 food company, you can.
Because my wife's been vegan at different points in her life, and she'll make a chia seed egg to substitute in baking. But so why not sell the powder?
Well, you know, we think the biggest market for sort of the ingredient is actually the largest food companies in the world that are buying all this, and they're not buying a chicken egg because they love it. They're buying because it's functionally relevant. Now, this is a little bit different. So,
I mean, this is really going heads up against an actual egg, and I love eggs.
This is definitely a prototype. This is not ready for launch right now. This is an early version. This is one single plant, Jason, that we identified that hopefully when you pour it in the pan, let it heat up for 20 more seconds there, you actually see it gel together. So the functionalities that might be relevant in the mayo, think emulsification. It's up to us to identify a plant that emulsifies, that gives you a mouthfeel that hopefully you guys like. Now, when it comes to the scrambled egg, different functionalities, different deal. It's got to gel. It's got to have a certain texture and mouthfeel that you're used to, because do you like scrambled eggs?
I'm an over easy kind of guy, but yeah, I'll do a scramble once in a while.
Okay.
Sure. Are you going to be able to make one with a yolk and really sort of deke us all out, or no?
You know, we realize more and more every day that we find such abundance and complexity in the world of plants, and we almost forgot about all this complexity, and I think soon enough we'll be able to do a lot.
So you do think you'll have a yolk?
Yep.
Okay.
So let me, there's some oil you can put in it, just the right amount of oil.
Okay, canola oil. Okay, we'll do that in here. There you go. Okay, so we got a little oil. Beautiful. Oh, wow, look at this. It's like David Letterman or something. All right, here. What do we got? This is
a definite, let's cross my fingers moment here. Hopefully it scrambles. So the thing that I'm most concerned about right now is it going to gel together? Because about 6 months ago, we did this and it just evaporated in the pan.
Is that hot enough? I don't feel like it's hot enough. How do we know the temperature?
So if you just move it up, let's put it at 11 there.
11's good, yeah. 11's.
It's warming up. Give it about.
Give it another minute here. What is this, sherry? We can put some sherry in there? That's good. You want to hit that?
I'm good, thanks.
That's good.
I might need some if this doesn't work.
That's tasty. All right, here we go.
All right, let's do it.
So I'm pouring it in. Looks almost like pancake. Well, no, it actually does look like egg. Is our pan hot enough here? Let's go 12. Go 12.
Let's warm this up a little bit.
All right, now let's talk about your company while we're doing this, Rob.
Absolutely.
You are also going after food.
Mm-hmm.
What's your approach, and why did you start your company? What do you do?
Largely the same, just a frustration with the overall inefficiency and waste of the food system. But we're also very concerned about the user experience, how people are living today. People are very busy, people are very stressed, people are stressed for time and cash often. You're a busy man, Jason.
Absolutely.
Sure. So I started wondering, why can't we just have this, just make it all optional, really simplify the process? Why can't we have this default just option that gives you everything you need and nothing you don't? What would that be like? What if we had this, pre-optimized food that, in theory one could live on entirely, but just it allowed you from detached.
It'd be like the science fiction film Soylent Green.
I've heard of that movie. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you named your company Soylent, so you have a sense of humor in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Right. So what?
Jason, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think the scrambled eggs are calling.
Hold on, let's
name.
go back to the eggs here.
I'll get started on this.
Yeah. So it's a powder?
It's a powder. You mix it with water and a
let's
little bit
get
of
the camera
oil.
over here for a second. Hold on. People need to see this because that's like an omelet. Hey, that's pretty. Yeah, I would say that looks like it has what do they call that? A curd?
That's what we call it. So this is one single plant, not 10, just one single plant that has these gelling properties that enable it to come together in a pan.
Okay. So it is looking extremely like scrambled eggs. I'm fascinated that you're able to get the texture. Did you have to do something? Are you working with the guy who's making the hearts with the 3D printer?
We're not. Maybe we should, but we have a team of biochemists and food scientists. We have a biochemist that formerly worked with a Nobel laureate to find a therapy for HIV, and he was looking for a place to try to
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
we'll get this going here. Whoa.
Good, huh?
Nice, all right. Put that over here. Got a little salt and pepper. What are we going to do over here?
So you go. We got a fork there. You might want to. We have some special seasoning for this plant-based scrambled egg too. You might want to dip it.
Oh, just dip it, or should I just do a little bit of this kind of action? Now, what do we got going over
No, I'm
here?
not sure you
So I got a little
cooked it
Soylent on your phone. I'm sorry,
I
but
got a little soil on the phone here. Let's go.
so I call this minimum viable cooking.
Minimal vial cooking. You put your soil in
Just
there, you
some
shake
powder,
it up.
some water, a little bit of oil.
I'm not sure you cooked that enough, Jason.
No, I like mine a little
pretty
wet.
good.
Okay, you're 80% of the way there.
We're getting there.
I mean, honestly, it's edible. It's not an egg yet.
Not yet. That's right.
The flavor is a little off. It almost tastes like something like more soy-y or more. It tastes a little more vegetable.
Yep.
How long do you have to go? You want to try this here? Let me
So
get another
about,
fork.
as I said, about 6 months ago, we would throw it in a pan and it would evaporate. I'd say we probably have another year of development on it.
No,
Wanna try a piece?
Rob, you might. There you go. That's just okay.
You like that? It's, to
Pretty
be
good.
honest, though, it's not an egg. Or is it an egg?
It's been a while since I cooked breakfast, but
Oh, right, you only drink powdered beverages.
So hopefully, Jason, next year we can come up here and give you something that tastes exactly like the chicken egg.
Oh,
you're
can I
used
get a
to.
couple of cups
I
for the
think it's
Soylent?
good.
You got to try the Soylent.
Yeah,
He
try
tried
it.
your
Okay,
egg.
give me it.
Hey, run me up a couple cups, guys. All right, so now,
this is very exciting. This is actually the first time someone outside the company has sampled our finalized version of Soylent. This
How
is
long have you
Soylent
been
version
working on this?
1.0. My prototype came out about a year ago, and we've been tweaking the formula for the past year.
so you spent a year making a shake that is the perfect food. So I wouldn't have to eat any other food for the rest of my life, but just Soylent.
If you so desired. This has everything the body needs and nothing it doesn't.
Okay. And is it all vegan, vegetarian?
It's
or
vegetarian.
how many?
We do use fish oil as part of the oil blend in order to get the DHA and EPA fatty acids that are required, but we will
Okay.
soon be fully vegan.
Okay. And you eat how many regular meals a week do you eat versus drinking a Soylent shake?
So personally, I eat about 2 to 3 meals a week, just for fun. Mostly go out. I'm about 90% Soylent, but a lot of our beta testers have been between 70 and 80%.
So-
it's really up to the user. It's up to you. However much you want, but a lot of times it's good just to not worry about it.
To not worry about eating a meal.
Sometimes it can be a hassle. There's a
Yes.
lot of expense. There's a lot of time shopping, cooking,
Okay.
and cleaning over and over again. It'd be nice if we could do those for fun. If we didn't, have to do it all the time.
So how much time do you save? Should I go line that up there?
Well, this morning I made a day's worth of food in the time it took for an Uber to pick me up. I mean,
Got it.
it's very shelf stable. You can, it's all e-commerce. You can order it at Soylent.me. We'll be shipping in 6 weeks. It gets delivered right to your door. You can order a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months. It's very shelf stable. It'll sit in the cupboard for
It's
years.
not meant to be competitive, though, with like a protein shake that you might take
Not
after
really.
working out.
It's not a supplement. I would say it's meant to be a simple, sensible default meal. I would say we compete more with rice and beans, fast food, groceries.
And who do you see the market for this as?
I see the market as anybody who's looking to maybe simplify their life a little bit. Someone that is looking to just, a lot of times you just need fuel. A lot of times you're just hungry.
Yeah.
For me, I was very busy. I was very burdened, and certainly wasn't eating well. I mean, as Josh said, a lot of the healthy food is very inconvenient, very expensive. This is something that is very affordable. It costs about $3 a meal. That'll get you everything you need. 700 calories.
So literally, if we were going to go to Mars, this is what we send with people so they have enough food, but it doesn't take up a ton of space until they can set up the...
Exactly. It's very light, very space efficient.
What do you think of that?
I think it's good, Rob. I want some more, actually, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What is it?
So the taste is designed to be kind of neutral, something that's not overly stimulating, something that just you don't have to worry about. That makes it very easy to flavor on your own. A lot of people add vanilla or cinnamon or coffee.
It does
I
have
just
a
think
vanilla. It does have a vanilla-y flavor. It actually kind of tastes good. And so, how many people have ordered this? Maybe we can make it taste better.
We've had about... it makes it... You can make a brown Russian with a little vodka and Kahlua. It's not bad.
Get that going here. Never too
We'll have
early.
some of this. So we've had about 20,000 orders spaced all throughout the United States.
20,000 people.
Yeah.
How much did you raise in your Kickstarter?
We're at over 2.5 million in pre-orders, and we also raised $1.5 million.
I'm sorry, I was enjoying. This is fantastic.
It's pretty good.
So you're saying we could just drink this all day?
If you could live on this, would you?
Seriously, I'm not even joking right now. I think that you have a future in cross-branding this with Kahlua. It tastes absolutely fantastic.
We're looking for brand partnerships.
You know, it would make it really good. A little of this in there. Put some cookie dough in there. And
as Josh
put
said,
that in the blender.
And the beauty of it, we use only plant protein. It is very efficient to produce, very sustainable.
Yum. But who are the people ordering $2.5 million worth of a product called Soylent? I mean,
all sorts of people. I hear from busy programmers, engineers, grad students, but also single moms, truck drivers. I mean, there's just people are very busy today. They're very stressed, and I think food is a large source of that. And if we could just simplify this whole process, if we just make it this healthy default option that's very affordable, I think it could fit into a variety of different lifestyles.
I am fascinated most that $2.5 million worth of Soylent were sold in pre-orders. There is some market here of people who are super busy,
absolutely,
but want to be healthy and just do this quickly. Now, what about the energy ratio? You were talking about the energy ratio. Does this take a lot of energy to make? Are you hurting the planet by making something so complex, or are you two also, along with Hampton, making something simple?
This is one of the most sustainable things you can make. Not only is there virtually no waste, every ounce is used for energy and nutrition. It's all calories, it's all something you need. A lot of the ingredients don't even come from agriculture. You need minerals like calcium and magnesium and potassium. These things can be mined. You don't even need to grow plants for those. Vitamins can be synthesized industrially. You don't even need farms. In the future, the protein and the lipids and the carbohydrates do come from agriculture now, but in theory, in the future, it is possible to produce these through algal production. You can basically ferment, you can grow, you can synthesize
like
everything the body needs.
Algae bays, do you think? Algae going to play a part in this?
Like an algae bioreactor, in theory, could produce everything that is in here without using orders of magnitude less land and water and energy than traditional agriculture.
What is an algae reactor? For people in here who don't know, because I don't think any of us know what an algae reactor is. We're envisioning like 3 Mile Island with green stuff coming out of the top. What is that, an algae reactor?
No, in fact, it's completely carbon neutral, no emissions. It takes in air, water, and sunlight, and it synthesizes basically the same things that the plants do right now. There's just less waste because it synthesizes it directly.
So let me ask both of you this question. People are very worried about the planet. CO2, food supply, water. You've been working on this collectively for a couple of years now. Are you guys worried, or do you have an insight into food production and where it could go that you're sleeping well at night thinking, hey, if we add another 2 or 3 billion people over the next couple of years, we're going to be okay?
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest challenges facing all of us is, we have 9.5 billion people on the planet by 2050. How do they eat without destroying the environment? And I think I actually am more optimistic now because, listen, people are busy. They have a burden called the bottom line, and they want convenience. And I think for the same reason we're eating in a way that doesn't align with our bodies or the planet, we can do the reverse. And if we bring the cost way down with technology and smarts, we can change the dynamic.
So your belief is those people making cookie dough, when they taste the fact that you've made something that is cheaper for them, and consumers can't tell the difference, they're going to come to you and say, hey, you just made us an extra 20 cents per package.
So in the last 90 days, we've signed 6 agreements with Fortune 500 companies. Okay, so these are regular old people at Fortune 500 companies, and they get the issues. It's not that they don't get it. The problem is when the solution is more expensive, you're going to get a no. But if the solution actually aligns with their lives and the burden that they have, call it a bottom line, you get them to say yes.
More optimistic, less optimistic after your entrepreneurial journey creating Soylent?
Incredibly optimistic. I think the beauty of sustainability is it really implies greater efficiency. There is less waste involved, which means you are going to have a lower cost product. And with greater understanding and ability to create anything, you can have a very high quality, very enjoyable product, a very, very good user experience. So I think it's going to be fine.
Can people bake with that as well?
Yeah, it's heat stable. People bake with it. I've seen cookies, muffins, tiramisu. I'm not much of a cook, but
so somebody could make a dessert with this and the dessert could have we could just eat tiramisu for the rest of your life, is what you're saying?
Would you?
Ah, I mean, who wouldn't? I know what that's
But right, in theory, this is a very simple base. I mean, we're basically starting with milk, and flour, something that's a very staple thing. So in theory, you could have this standardized nutritional base, which is everything the body needs, and it avoids all the undesirables like cholesterol and simple sugars and saturated fats. And you could make that on the applications and flavor side, you can make anything: ice cream, tiramisu, a cheeseburger, like a very exciting company called Beyond Meat has done. It's all very exciting.
Where will we be if you can keep your company solvent, and you can keep your company solvent, you can keep raising money? What will the world look like in another 10 to 20 years in terms of food production, and even animal cruelty in some cases? What do you think the world will look like in 10?
I think, as always is the case, when new innovations come along, like from the gaslight to electricity, convenience sets in and affordability sets in. And I think we'll have a world in which technology, like what Rob's doing, like what we're doing, more and more people, billions of people, will choose something that's a little bit better for the world, not because they care about the world, but because it makes sense for their lives. So I think you'll have a revolution in food with that. And I do think there's a big space for farmers markets, for free-range egg production, for a place that says, let's move away from the crazy systems and do something a little bit different.
So we could disband these crazy, which maybe in another 50 years, we'll look back at this point in humanity and say the way we treated these animals was abhorrent. We may only have real eggs, once a month or once a week, and it'll be like a little bit of a delightful thing, but it won't be these millions or tens of millions of chickens laying eggs in basically prison.
Totally. I mean, some of my friends in Northern California can afford to pay $6 for a dozen free-range eggs. That's not reality. So we think our reality is to solve the problem means solving the problem for everyone.
Where do you think we'll be, Rob, 10, 20 years from now, if you guys can stay in business and keep pursuing this?
Yeah, similar. I think that we can essentially make hunger and malnutrition obsolete. It really is. It's a resource problem. It's a scaling problem. If you can produce enough calories with low enough financial and energy expenditure, you can, in theory, there will be enough to go around. You can feed everybody, as well as have more balance in the diet and avoid the undesirables that are naturally occurring in a lot of foods currently.
$3 a serving with your built-in margin. In 10 years, what will you get a serving of that down to, just based on scale and growth?
I mean, given decades, I think this could be all the way down to $1 a day. Something that could be cheap enough for anybody.
So the concept of food being a scarce resource and paying for nutrition is going to go away.
Absolutely. It'll be a utility like power or water. As we scale and we standardize, we can improve the quality and reduce the cost.
All right, let's hear it for Josh and Rob. Really amazing work, guys.